making mistakes at home. Like, we'll make all the mistakes in the world. As long as nobody can see us, we're happy with it. So it's nice to see the players fully relaxed.
And Magnus, who's been taking his time getting back to the board during these breaks, I'm worried that he is once again sacrificing valuable seconds against previous world champion of blitz chess, Quang Liem from Vietnam. And that's not a good idea to do against somebody who's so good in these quicker time formats.
Exactly, especially such a critical round. There we see Quang Liem appear. I don't know what he's doing.
Get back to the board. Okay, he's here.
He was changing diapers. I don't know. He was sunbathing by the pool, but he's back. And we see a d-pawn opening from Quang Liem. It's going to transpose into a double fianchetto. Magnus uses this in must-win situations. A few years ago at the World Blitz Championship, he was playing this every single game with the black pieces. There we go. He hits the white queen away. She's going to step forward now, most likely. And yes, white's lost a bit of time, but inviting this bishop into the center means there is a target on the next move. So very sneaky opening choice there from Quang Liem. Watch out, though. Magnus has got tricks of his own. Knight takes pawn is threatened. That pawn isn't really defended because there was an undefended bishop on g2. Now it's protected. The question is, can you take this knight? Can you take this pawn? Magnus probably wishes he had an extra 30 seconds to think about it.
Yeah, Magnus. Why do you always show up so late after these breaks? I mean, it's clearly an advantage for Quang Liem that he almost has a minute more on the clock right now.
Yeah, that was self-inflicted from Magnus. He spent a bit of time. Bishop takes knight was a desirable move, but the white queen would have taken, and there would have been a pin along this diagonal. So it wasn't possible to win a pawn there, but Magnus now having to put his knight on the edge of the board.
I wanted to hear if Magnus was going to say anything, but he seems to be in concentration mode.
A4, C5, I think.
It seems like Magnus has had a bit of a lower energy level today, and it seems like he hit the loss in the earlier round against Serrana. Like, it didn't seem like it affected him in a personal level like it usually does. Is he maybe in like too much of a chill mode today?
Yeah, it's a fine balance. You don't want to be too tense, don't want to be too kind of hyped up because the energy will ebb and flow. But yeah, I agree. Like, I think Magnus, we saw at the World Rapid Championship, he lost to Artemiev, suddenly 5-game winning streak. He got angry.
Yeah.
The World Blitz, he was fumbling pieces, throwing them left, right, and center, losing games. He got angry and went on a streak. We haven't seen him get angry yet.
Yeah, and usually when Magnus loses a game, he's the worst opponent to meet. Magnus, who just lost a game. Yeah. But today he actually got a draw in the round after he lost. So yeah, a little bit less of a fighting spirit from Magnus today, but even despite that, he is still in contention for winning this title Tuesday. And of course, Quang Liem with 7 points, he's half a point ahead. And he would also like to secure more points for the standings of split 2 here.
Yeah, this is reckless, though. The clock consumption of Magnus Carlsen, he's a minute and a half down.
I don't think I've ever seen him be that far behind on the clock in Title Tuesday.
Yeah, and whenever we do, it's only against Hikaru, and it sometimes ends badly. And there we go. He pushed a pawn forward. Like a 1 minute think just to push the pawn to a6. That's very mysterious. His bishop in the center is kind of trapped, but can give itself up for a knight at some point. Magnus wants to blow open the queen side, wants to maybe even sacrifice a pawn just to get lines for his rooks, his queens. But again, that type of decision will take a lot of time off his clock. Quang Liem needs to strike in the near future. This is dangerous for Magnus if he wants to get back into the race for first place.
And Quang Liem looks like he's taking it quite chill, but even despite taking it chill, he is a minute up on the clock, and he has a good position according to the evaluation bar at the top of the screen. He has developed all of his pieces into very sound places. He's got his rooks connected. I mean, Magnus, it feels like he's lagging a bit behind in this game right now.
Yeah, Magnus has to do one of two things. At some point, there we go. Either sacrifice a pawn, blow it up, blow it open, at least make his moves more obvious, or just curl up into a ball, go defensive. He's much worse now. He's given up a pawn, Quang Liem with an advantage.
Yeah. This is just not a great Benko gambit at all.
Well, that's one way of summarizing that, Magnus, but he needed to do something. He got desperate.
Exactly. At least it's clear what his plan is now. His plan will be to move his queen and then slide his rooks across. And Magnus mentioned the Benko gambit. That is giving up a pawn. That's this pawn structure, normally via a different move order, but it does give you 2 open files. That's the beauty of being pawns down. You get open lines instead. And there we go. He moves his queen across. He's going to move his rook across, maybe retreat his knight to open up his bishop. First, he offers a queen trade. He wants his trademark endgame. But yeah, I've got to say, it's not the most impressive opening I've ever seen from Magnus. But definitely in the Benko gambit, you get chances at some point. White's pawns do take a long time to mobilize. And the time advantage has been cut in half, so some hope there.
And Magnus is at least now trying to trade the queens, but he doesn't seem to be very happy.
Yeah. Just not happy in general. He's trying to focus, but yeah, if he had that extra 30 seconds, if it was level on time, I would say decent chances. Now the white bishop has a path back to control some nice squares. No weaknesses for white. Pawn up. Black's knight on the edge of the board is terrible. If you could pick it up and put it somewhere else, then maybe some chances.
He's trying to move it, but even after moving it to that square, it's terrible. And even if he moves it another time, it will be terrible. And then it won't have any other places to go.
Yeah.
What an annoying knight to have.
And annoying move to face as well. This bishop hit on the black knight. White's just going to push this pawn forward now, and that's a protected pass pawn for life.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, normally you get open files for the Benko gambit, but this b file was congested as anything.
I rarely see Magnus kind of, he hasn't lost yet, obviously, but I rarely see him find himself in this tragic of a situation this early on, and it feels like Liem has just been better the whole game.
Yeah, Magnus has not just had a bad opening, he's been outplayed on top of it. And there we go. I was going to say, the only way you ever save this is to cause confusion for Liem. Somehow get him thinking, somehow strike on the clock, and kind of provoke him into thinking. But he's just keeping maximum control. The white king's going to slide forward now. At some point, I think Liem should be pushing this pawn just to open up lines for his rooks. The white rooks are a bit blocked right now. That probably is the winning recipe later. But he's got to speed up. Suddenly, only 10 seconds difference. And advantage dwindling as well.
Oh, and the time is really evening out. Is Magnus seeing any opportunities?
Maybe. He's given up the exchange, Magnus. He's down a rook for knight now. But at least play will switch to just one side of the board. And knights, surprisingly, can be strong against rooks if it's just pawns on one side. Magnus is trying to draw. I think Magnus has also got half an eye on the clock.
Yeah. And Liem, he's played a lot of online chess. We remember him from his very many participations in the Champions Chess Tour series these past couple of years. And so he should be very good with few seconds on his clock, but it remains to be seen who is better. But from these two in like the bullet section of the game, they're down to a minute each.
Man, Liem has just spent far too long on the last few moves. Watch out, there were some knight forks. Oh, he kept them under guard there, but now there's a pawn hanging. This has turned around a lot. Momentum is on black's side.
And he's shaking his head, and Magnus has won a pawn in the middle. And look at Liem's reactions.
What's he doing? There's another pawn now up for grabs. Magnus has turned this around.
Could have tried and gone for this pawn, but I just want to make sure I don't trade too many pieces.
Oh, he doesn't want to trade too many pieces. He wants to keep some pieces on the board. He wants to win on time.
Wow, Magnus. He's going to get the d pawn as well. He's going to have a bishop and 2 pawns. Most importantly, he's going to have total stability. And he's got 30 seconds extra on the clock. Liem, I think, just froze. Total freeze.
Maybe he was also realizing, oh, I have a much better position against Magnus. I really want to crown my work in a good way. And he was looking for too many specific moves instead of just trying to keep the position alive. And now he's down to less than 10 seconds. And Magnus, for the first time, actually has a better position now in the entire game.
Yeah, that rook is hit. The pawn is hit. That was a deflection attempt from Liem, but now he's down material. Magnus is up. Imagine that. He was down a pawn for nothing. Now he's got a bishop and 3 pawns for a rook, and Liem runs out of time. Wow, a relief for Magnus Carlsen.
Through the depth of despair, we emerged with a win.
Okay. Well, he did.